Cool, so when I ask how you guys doing, all you guys scream unbelievable. You ready? Everybody. How you guys doing today? Unbelievable! Let's go, man. I'm fired up. Hey, did Gabby do a great job? Yeah! Awesome. Give it up for her one more time. Awesome. So, we haven't been doing a lot of these because we have been really busy. We're working on getting the Ruby. I don't know if you want to help me up here, brother. It's not screen sharing, so whatever. So what's your name again, bro? Thomas. Everybody give it up for Thomas. I just want y'all to know that Thomas is a powerful man. Without Thomas, we don't got an event. So I'll tell you guys a funny joke. So in the place that I was at in Cuba, they had a baseball team, a professional baseball team. But the worst guy on the team played third base, which is ironic because a lot of balls are hit to third base, right? And I remember asking the coach, I was like, why is he there? He's like, he owns all the gloves, So if I bench him, he says he's gonna go home. The game's over, we lose by default, at least this way, we have a shot, right? So necessity will help you do some things. Okay, bro, so how do I play it, bro? Because it just says use external keypad. So, anyways, a little bit for you guys that don't know me. My name's Edouard. I was actually born in Cuba, and I came over here via lottery ticket, 1977, the year the company started. That's my passcode to my iPad, right? So, great day. So, I grew up in Cuba, and I came here when I was about 10 years old, and I grew up here. My parents worked really, really hard jobs. And growing up, I was like, man, there's got to be something. There's got to be something that I can do. And I'll tell you guys this, for anybody here that's an immigrant or a son of a first-generation immigrant, look, your parents gave up everything to get you guys here. The most disrespectful thing that you guys can do is be average and ordinary. And I really do mean that. But, I'm going to get into some training here tonight. But, man, I'm going to teach you guys some things that's going to take you to the next level. I really, really believe what we're doing is going to take us to really high levels. Right now we are at 520,000. I really believe we're just going through that income. We're not going to be there for much time, and so I'm super excited. So again, guys, look, when you guys are here at the school, most of you guys drove here, you took time off of work, you're here, you're not somewhere else. So it makes absolutely no sense to be falling over, to be going to sleep. Like, you left everything that you were doing to be here. Why wouldn't you want to maximize your time here? Right? Regardless of your age, regardless where you come from, even if you were here, you could be at home with your kids. I love my son, right? If I'm leaving him to go somewhere, I'm going to make that time count. So as I go to faster school, sometimes even my team, and I go in there and people are falling over, I'm like, why? You don't have to be here, because when you're here, you're not paying attention and you're not getting good sleep. So you should just go get good sleep. You get what I'm saying? Right? Or whatever. So if you're going to be here and somewhere else, whether it's on a call or a phone call, just go over there, right? Because you're not doing this or you're not doing that, right? You're messing up both things at once. Russian proverb says, if you chase two rabbits, you'll never catch either one. So again, if you're here, guys, all I ask you is that you're present, okay? So if you guys don't have me on social media, that's my social media, but this is a look of where it comes from, where I came from, guys. A lot of times people say, I was poor, I grew up poor. I'm like, dude, you don't know what poor is until you grew up in a third world country, right? Like, you have no idea. We used to play barefoot and outside. This is me playing with some of the kids, which is super cool, And the way that you know that I'm not from there, because I'm the only one with shoes on, Seriously, and I was one of those kids, and before I came here to the United States, man, so, a lot of times the reason that immigrants do so well here is because they value it, because you know what you have. I can't tell you guys how many people right now are begging, wishing, hoping they can get into Primerica, and they can't because they don't have a work permit and a Social Security. And we have people here that are in the business and they take it for granted. They put absolutely no effort. There's so many people that are like, man, want to do this, right, man? I have so many cousins and nephews and all this in other countries, and they would give up anything to be here, right? They would give anything to be in America, and there's so many people that are in America that would give anything to be in Primerica, right? And then some of us, we're here and we take things for granted. right? I read a statistic that said if you're born outside the country, you're more likely to be a millionaire. And I had a hard time believing that. But then as time goes by here in this business, I can see it. Because the work ethic that we have is crazy. Because I know what I came from, right? You know, a lot of times, you know, whenever I wasn't grateful for things, my mom would always tell me, remember where you came from. You know, we used to have this really, really beat up car, paint chipping, like just really bad, Shaq. And my mom would love dropping me off in the front of the school. All the kids even. I'd be like, Mom, drop me off over there. She was like, in Cuba, we used to walk. You should be happy we have a car. Right? And I remember growing up, I was like, God, like I'm poor and I'm short, like this cannot get worse, right? And you know, and what happens, I grew over time, I grew a little bit. But you know, God was just prepping me for everything that was coming, right? Like I remember kids making fun of my shoes, you know, making fun of all that stuff, you know. Today, you know, I'm serious, man. I was in middle school, high school, kids would get together, right, to point at my cars, right? Take pictures, put it in the group chats, make fun. Today, kids get together to take a picture of my car, but because it's an exotic supercar and they want to show it to their parents. Right? So that's the power that you guys have here in Primerica. As a matter of fact, you know, when I was 24 years old, I bought a Maserati. So one of the jobs that my parents did part-time, they always had 2 to 3 jobs going on, so they had to add another job to make some extra money, because if you're an immigrant, guys, who's an immigrant here? Or son of, okay, cool, so you know your parents, the game is not just to take care of people here, it's what? Take care of people back home, right? So the money barely makes them enough to survive here, let alone take care of the people back home. So my parents would always work 2, 3, sometimes even 4 jobs. Right? And one of the jobs they had was cleaning dealerships. So they would clean dealerships late at night, because my mom and dad, they both worked 16 hours a day, right? So the only thing that they can do together was from 11 to 2 in the morning, they can clean offices or car dealerships, right? So anybody's parents here cleaning at some point? Just me? A couple of you guys? So when I was a little kid, we used to clean a car dealership. And one day I was getting my car serviced, and I was walking through the lobby, and I was just having I was like, you know, deja vu, right? Deja vu is French for, you guys know what it means? I've seen this before, right? So I'm walking, and I realized that car dealership that was servicing my Maserati at the time was the same car dealership my parents used to clean when I was 10 years old. Right? See, this company can do that, but you know, it's not just the company, it's what you do with it. See, a gun isn't bad or good, it's just a gun. What makes it good or bad is what you do with it. So the business is not good or bad. What's going to make the business good or bad is what you do with it. If you come in here and you don't do nothing and you don't take it serious and you don't get busy, was that a good or a bad business? Might be bad business, right? But if you come in here and you become a multi-millionaire, right, like Christian, right, been paid millions and millions of dollars to the company, multi-millionaire many times over, was the company good or bad? You know, I was processing this girl because she was complaining about her job. She was at the gas station, she was complaining about her manager, and I was like, hey, look, I have an office on the street, you know, we're looking for people. She said, is that Primerica? And I was like, yeah. She was like, oh yeah, I tried that, it didn't work. And I was like, really? I tried it and I got rich. So one of us did something wrong, and it wasn't me. Guys, I'm serious, it's just a vehicle, it's just a weapon. What you do with it is what you do with it, right? Like your truth with our business doesn't have to be my truth. I got busy with Primerica. Primerica changed my life. Primerica helped me take care of my parents. That's right. Primerica gave me my dream cars. Primerica gave me my dream life. Primerica has given me to live in incredible places. Primerica has allowed me to take care of my fiance, take care of my baby, take care of family back home, travel the world, make millions of dollars. I'm not even 30 years old. Right? And I'm telling you guys, man, and it's incredible because, man, like, I take this thing so serious. And look, and I'm not better than you, I'm just different. Right? You guys are no better than anybody, you're just different. And I know you guys are different because on a Friday night, you guys are at a business seminar trying to see how you can get better. Right? And the beautiful thing about our business, it could go on, guys. There's people that have passed away 20, 30 years ago, and their families have been paid 30, 40, 50 million dollars since they passed. Guys, that's the type of company that you guys are in a company that leaves a legacy. So the name of my team is Legacy Financial, right? That's the team, Legacy, Team Legacy, Team Legacy. Right? Because I realized that the battle is not letting your kids so much have what you didn't have, it's to teach them what you didn't know. Right? Teach them the things that you weren't taught. And guys, look, inheritance is what you leave outside of people, but a legacy is what you leave inside them. If you guys want to do something powerful here, you have to leave a legacy. You have to leave a print in everybody's heart. You know, when I go to a fast start school, it doesn't matter if I talk to 100, 200 people or one. My goal is at that moment, afterwards, they can take a little piece with me after them, right? Like if they can give them the value. Guys, look, man, and sometimes we think like, man, like we can't change the world. Guys, did you know that if you could influence 3 people, and those 3 influence another 3, 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 you know that's 59,000 people you influence? Just 3 people talking to 7 layers of 3 people is 59,000. So sometimes we think that what we do is not a big deal. It is a big deal, guys. It is a big deal. You know, you want to be somebody that's a world changer, you know? And look, that was me when I started Primerica. And I remember going into this meeting and I was wearing ROTC pants and ROTC belt and ROTC shoes and ROTC tie, you know, and it was my first Saturday training. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, come over here, take a picture of me because I know something big is going to happen. I wasn't licensed, right? Wasn't making no money. I was 19 years old. I was like, come take a picture, Mom. Take a picture because I know we're going to do something great. You know, and I had no idea that it would go to this level, but I said, man, something is going to come out of this. You know when you just kind of know? Maybe some of you guys have that feeling right now, like it's not doing what it's supposed to do, but you just kind of know, right? You can't explain, like something is going to come out of it, right? Primerica helped me find my fiance. So without Primerica, I don't have my son yet, and I absolutely love my son. You know, some of my best RVPs, they found their love of their lives in the business. Right? I've had people maybe never get to RVP and come in here and meet the love of their life. I had some people come in here and it feels like they just came in just to write that policy on their parents. Because 4 years later they passed away from a stroke or something random. And if it wasn't for them coming to the business and doing that one sale, their family never gets that $700,000. You know, everything is a purpose, right? There's a theory that's called the red string theory. And it says that everyone in life is connected. All the people that you meet in your life has always been connected, right? And people don't come into your life later than they're supposed to or before they come in, before they're supposed to. They come in right at the right time. And no matter how many times you try to cut that string, if you're supposed to meet somebody, you're supposed to meet somebody. And I really, really believe that, you know, because even if I take the How I Met Gabby was completely like out the blue, you know. You guys know since I've been in Primerica, no one ever has prospected me again for the business. Never again. Not once. I've been here 10 years and 3 months. Yep. Not once. No one has ever been to me at Walmart, you know? They stopped me one time at a gym, working out, and that was the time that got me here. After that, nobody. Not at a gym, not at a supermarket, nowhere. That's the only time someone's talked about Primerica. Right? And it scares me to death that I was at that gym. I almost ignored him. I almost put my headphone back on. But I said, you know what? I'm going to listen. That wasn't an accident, guys. That was faith. Right? And look, one of the things that I'm going to tell you guys is you got to have a why. Right? You got to have a why. People don't make it in business because they don't have a why. Not just in this business or any business. You got to be so clear on your why you do something. Right? Why you're getting started, why you're willing to take the no's, why you're willing to find the yeses, why you're willing to go through the chargebacks, why you're willing to go through the exams, why you're willing to make the calls, why are you willing to do it? You know, people ask me like, man, like, you know, some people ask me, they'd be like, how are you like that? I got a strong why, man. I know what I want. When people slow down, it's because they're not clear on what they want to do. You know, recently we had 2 hurricanes back to back. Like it was a lot. You know, like the preparation, the cleaning up afterwards, the no Wi-Fi internet, like all these things were a lot. And I was feeling, you know, kind of down because it's normal to be like that. Don't you guys think that I'm always like this? That I'm not. I'm a human being just like you guys. Sometimes I don't feel like making calls. I don't feel like presenting. I don't feel like prospecting. Right? And that's okay. It's not the feeling that's the problem. It's the lack of action. Right? So when you guys don't feel a certain way, what you have to do is you have to revisit your goals and dreams. You have to do something to get you excited. You know, I was feeling down, so I went and bought an R8. I felt I'm excited again. You know, whatever you want to do, you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's why I work for. Right? You guys need things in your life that get you excited. And before I could do those things, I would go and I still do. I revisit the goals whenever I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. When I'm not waking up at the right times, when I'm not doing the policies, when I'm not leading the team, when I'm not fired up, when I'm not giving, I revisit my goals and dreams. I revisit them. I say, okay, what do I want to do? I want to make $1 million before 30. I want to be the youngest to do it. I want to have a 200 by 200 base shop. I want to do this. I want to have hundreds of $1 million earners. All these things, and I look at those things, and those goals are not in correlation with the things that I'm doing. So it makes me want to do it. Because one or two things has to happen. Either I give up on my goals and dreams, or I match the action to get them. Right? And I'm not going to give up on it. Right? So we get to work, right? This is my son, and look, regarding social media, like use them, This is my little boy, and he's like the best thing that ever happened to me, and this is like a video that I made on social media, and it just got super shared. I like really miss him. I'm not gonna lie, I miss my son really, really, really bad, If you don't have a son, you need to make one, or you need to adopt one. I'm serious, man. Like, I thought I knew love, and then I had a son. Now I know what love is. I'm serious, So if you can't have one, go and adopt one. There's a lot of kids that need your help, seriously, like, he's just awesome, right? And so this is really cool because, Gabby, obviously, that was my first son. It was a very special moment, so, I needed to make sure her first Mother's Day was really, really special, right? So check this out. This is really cool. These are the things that Primerica has allowed me to do.
I just got my girl a G-Wagon. This has always been the dream car. She gave me the best gift that I could ever have. She gave me a baby, so babe, I love you. The mother thing ever.
Got a great video? Guys, and that's the type of thing that Primerica lets you do. It allows you to, to provide, And men and women show love in different languages, like men, a man loves you when they take care of you financially. They love you, I promise you, right? A woman loves you when she cooks for you, right? Right? But I'm serious, right? We take care of each other, right? And this is my family. Which is really cool. This is at the Bahamas. So again, like, I have a big why, and it motivates me, And I don't always like them, but I always love them, And Gabby knows that. So we're a couple just like any other ones. We have our hard moments. We have our, our issues for real, just like any other couple. But we stick with it, right? And we keep going, right? So, guys, we got to take the business to the next level. So many people, we're going for guidelines. We got to push for standards. Right? Look, and what I want you guys to know is the minimum is what you're willing to accept in life, right? So you have standards and then you have guidelines, right? So a guideline is like an RVP promotion. A guideline might be 10 by 10. It might be 20 by 20. See, a standard is going out doing 50 by 50. Right? A standard might be, hey, look, you got to give up 30 licensed agents as your placement. Right? That might be a guideline. A standard is you leave 100. See, because if you want to do something big in this company, guys, you got to be more worried, not just about you, right? But the effect that you're going to have on others. I'm so cautious the way I talk to somebody, the way that I work, because I know everything that I'm doing is influencing another person. Right? I don't like working with selfish people. Look, and maybe you're doing the bare minimums and you're looking for a promotion. You're looking for a promotion that's going to benefit you at the expense of hurting everybody else. Right? It takes a village to raise a child. We want to make sure that all the promotions got to get everybody better. Everything that we do is about getting everybody better. Right? Guys, a man or woman that is full of themselves oftentimes finish empty. Right? Man, it's about helping people. It's about getting the bigger business. It's about growing. Guys, there's a guy like me out there, right? That comes from a poor family, right? Hoping and begging for an opportunity, going to college because his parents think that's how you become successful, and they're looking for it, and you pass by them every single day, but you won't open your mouth and say, hey, can I ask you a quick question? I'm expanding my office in the area, I'm looking for people, you ever thought about doing anything else? See, shy people have skinny kids. You know, guys, you gotta open up your mouth, right? Big is big, small is small. Do you wanna be average and ordinary, or do you wanna do something special? This business is about doing something special. This business isn't even about us hitting the million. I know we're gonna hit it because we are so focused on it, man. I promise you guys, before 2025 ends, we will 100% have the Ruby. Right? If we don't, I'm not even gonna say if we don't, because we're gonna do it, right? No problem. Okay, I mean, we made $61,000 last month. It's not that much more. It's like $25,000 more. That you know, that doesn't change my life. Another 20 grand a month, it doesn't. But I know that'll leave a legacy. You know, and we're just getting started. It's not even about just us hitting it. We want to build a business where we produce. I want $100 million earners direct to me. Right? Why is that such a big goal, such a scary, audacious goal? Because that'll keep me going. I'm 29 years old. You know, the problem is not that you have big goals and miss, is that you have small goals and hit, right? Because what if I don't hit $100 million earners direct to me? But what if I end up at 20, 25, or 30, right? What if we're able to accomplish something like that? Would that be better than saying, hey, I just want to make 200,000, hey, I just want ownership? So you can want ownership, you can want the ring, and you can hit that goal, and I can miss mine, but who's going to leave a bigger impact and influence? Right? Guys, you gotta have a big goal that keeps you going, like big, like RVP is not big enough. $100,000 a year is not big enough. 100 codes is not big enough. You need to have a much bigger, like way bigger goals. You need to get excited about what you do. You need to be able to know, like, the reason you want a big goal, you need to separate yourself, right? If I say, look, my goal here in this company before I die is to make $100 million. Because when somebody else tries to talk to me about something, if it's not 100 million, we're not even having the conversation. You guys need to have guys, we're in a company right now, we're starting to have people in our company make almost $1 million a month. You guys know monkey see, monkey do? What does that mean? If he can do it, what? I can do it. That should be your mentality for everything in the company. You know, I see people and they're 600 and 700 and 1 million and 2 million and 2, and my thought process is always like, if they can do it, what? I can do it. That's just the truth. Nobody that makes more than you is better than you. They're just bigger than you. They have more people on their team. That's really what it is, right? So guys, look, I always ask my team, do you want an exception or do you want to be exceptional? There's a big difference. Because I want to be exceptional. I'm looking for people that want to be exceptional. I'm looking for people that want to change their life. I'm looking for somebody that not only, as a matter of fact, wanting to change your life is not big enough. You can change your life with $100,000 to $300,000 a year, but you can't change your family's life with that amount of money. I'm telling you guys, I've made it. It's not a lot. I want to change my family's life. I want to change my kids' life. That's the type of legacy I want to leave. And look, and if you're older and you might feel like you're running out of time, this is the truth about the business. You can go and recruit a couple young people. They can go RVP, change your life forever. You could be long gone and your family's still making 2, 3, 4, 500, even $1 million a year. That's what you guys have here. You know, can you imagine if you would have recruited Christian David? What if you would have recruited him? Can you imagine if you would have recruited Shaq? Right? Or any of those guys sitting there? You all be making 6 figures without doing anything. What if you would have recruited me? What if you recruited Mario Arizona? What if you recruited Miguel Illich? In this business, you don't even have to be the best. You just have to recruit people that are better than you. Right? See, guys, there are good players, right? There are great players, and there are some players that change the game forever. You guys want to be the type of person, you want to exceed to be the type of agent, type of broker, type of leader that changes the game forever. And you're at a company where it can be done. And you know what's one of the best things that I love about our business? It's, you know, one thing that our business has that other businesses don't is the duplication of other successful people. You could even make the argument, oh, you know, whether I do this, well, you know, and I'm not picking on any specific industries, I'm just saying, right? Be a lawyer, you make a lot of money. Great. Can you put somebody in your position in half the time that you did it with just as much income or more? Yes or no? What's the answer? No. You're in real estate, oh, you do great. Can you put 100 people in your position in half the time that you did it? No, you can't. You're a doctor. Oh, I believe. Okay, great. How many people can go through 15 years of medical school, pay $1 million in student loans, and end up in your position right now? You can't. Primerica is the only place, up to my knowledge, that everybody that comes in, they can accomplish the same goals faster. I have a guy right now in our business. We have a guy, better said, in our business. His name's Ryan. Ryan hasn't been in the business 2.5 years. He's already over 100,000 income. He's 20 years old. See, when I started, it took me 4 years to get to start making over $100,000 a year. See, it took my next RVPs, it took him 3 years to get over $100,000 a year. My last guy, in less than 2 years, he went over 100,000 in income. And we have some new guys, right? Obviously, they did the work. We just laid down the path. We have some new guys that we believe are going to be making 100,000 from IBA to within 12 months. Because the point of a good coach is that you do it faster. You know, sometimes people get ego when they have an upline, they're able to hit the same income that they have, you know, in half the time. What you have to understand, you shouldn't have an ego. That means you have not a good coach, that means you have a great coach. Because I look at it, I said, look, it took me it took us here 9 years to get our income over $500,000 a year, right? I have some guys right now that are tracking that I know within their first 5 years here, they're on pace to make over $500,000 a year. And that's not, you know, that's not ego. My uplines took 32 years to get their income over $1 million a year. Very confident we're going to do it within our first 11, right? Now, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It means they're great coaches. Because I'm also a great student. Because I'm able, when they tell me, if you do this, it'll happen faster. I won't want to be like, this is ego. I'm still going to do it that way. They just don't want me to do it. You go do it and you realize that you should have just listened to them in the first place. Right? It's sometimes we say, man, I need mentors. Like, I wish I had a different mentor. You don't think your mentor wishes they had a different mentee? I wish I was in another base shop. Don't you think your RVP says, I wish I had another rep? You guys look at a speaker talking and you say, damn, I wish that was my upline. Right? And they see another speaker and they're like, I wish that was my downline. Right? Are you the type of person that when you call your RVP, they're like, damn, this person. Or are you the type of person like, let me answer it because the money is calling? Right? You know, what's your number, bro? Yours. You got your phone on you? Take it out real quick. What's your phone number? 703-817-8002. 8002. All right. Tell everybody what it says on the caller ID when hopefully the call goes through. What does it say? No, the name on it that's calling. Oh, it has spam on it? Tampa, Florida? Oh, because you guys are in Tampa. So I went to my carrier. You guys know you can change the name when it calls. My contact, when I call, it says Mr. Dinero. And it's funny because I prospect people and I say, my name is Edouard. And it says, like, you ready for my last name? They're like, yeah. And I put M-O-N-E-Y. And I call them and it says, Mr. Dinero. I say, yeah, I told you. Is that your name? Seriously. Right? Because we want to build our money consciousness. I say, hey, you know what? That's my last name. Because every time I call, guess who's calling? The money. Y'all get it? Guys, look, if you want to be successful, you guys got to have that edge. Right? And you notice that someone has an edge because you meet them, right? And you say something like, hey, what's up, man? What's your name? My name's Edouard. Great to meet you. Or you say something, how are you, Xander? Instead of saying I'm good, he'll say something like, I'm better than I was yesterday, but not as good as I'll be tomorrow. Keep an eye out for people that because people that do things like that, they're intentional about those things, and they just have a little edge on them. And you notice that nobody that says things or do things like that, right? I met Christian, and he said something, very sporadic. I said, well, that's why he's been paid millions and millions. It's that little edge. You guys always want to look for everything that gives you that little edge. Always, you're looking for that little edge, something that makes you different from the rest. I'd rather people remember me because I talk too much than be forgotten because I never said a thing. Right? So guys, look, what you guys have to understand, if you guys want to be rich in the business, you have to understand licensing is everything. Licensing is this business. This business is licensing. Everything here that if you want to grow a big income without having to do a lot, you have to grow the licensed agents. Okay, and there are some people that are very sales driven, securities driven. Look, it doesn't matter what product you do. If you have more licenses of whatever product you favor, you're going to make more money than if you have less. There's two brothers that started a real estate company. One of the brothers focused on being a sales guru. This was like in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Sales guru, best. The other brother wasn't as good at sales, but he said, instead of wanting to develop my sales skills, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recruit a lot of people, and I'm gonna recruit a lot of real estate agents. And you know what? The first year happened, and the brother that focused on sales said, "What are you doing? You're wasting your time." He was making over almost $200,000 a year. This is in the 80s. It's equivalent to almost $1 million today, right? The other brother was struggling to make $35,000. And he said, "I'm telling you, you got to do what I do. You know, just focus on the sales." He said, No, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Okay, one brother turned out to be the founder of Remax. Which one do you think it was? The guy I was recruiting. Do you guys, what brother do you want to be like? See, I can't even tell you the name of the other one because it doesn't matter because they didn't do anything that's large with their life, right? But the guy that recruited, we know, hey, Remax, that's a big deal, ain't it? Guys, you got to make the correlation. The more licensed agents that you have, the more money you're going to make, right? Look, 82% of RVPs with more than 100 licenses in their base shop make over $200,000 a year. You guys have to master the license system. This is my income here. This is my income, okay? When I went over 100,000, I had 56 licensed agents. When I went over 200,000 in income, I had 100 licensed agents. When I went over 300,000 in income, I had 305 licenses. When we went over 400,000 in income, we had 355 licenses. When we went over 500,000 in income, we have 477. Right now, we're getting ready to go over 600,000 here in like within the next 60 days, we're gonna hit our sixth time, right? Because we have a lot of momentum. Our monthly income is exceeding a lot more than we have to replace, right? If you do 61,000 times 12, that's a lot more than 500,000 a year, right? So when people say like, oh, he's making 500,000 a year, that offends me. I'm not making. That's the last 12 months. I like to talk about the next 12 months. You with me? Right? So what you have to guys understand is it's all about licensing new numbers. It doesn't matter who's in the business. All you have to do is add new licensed agents. Guys, look, right now I could be a $500,000 earner. If Xander starts licensing 10 people a month, and my base shop goes down from 92,000 that we did, and I hate saying I did 100 by 92,000 or 100 by 98. Right? So, our 100, I hate saying, like, I hate when we get so close, you know? Sometimes I'd rather miss a goal by, like, a lot than a little bit. Anybody like that? Right? You lose a game by 1, like, I'd rather lose by 5, dude, or 10. You're like, 1 is like, I know I could have won, you know what I mean? So, but we want to have a good business, that's all. So, you know, so if I drop my base shop to 10 by 10, and I'm licensing 1-2 people a month, and Xander just starts licensing 10, and 10, and 10, and 10, and 10, and he keeps doing that for 2 to 3 years, he's gonna pass me, even if I'm at 500 and he's at 50, because he's adding new people. You can't beat it's just math, right? Like it's just math. You guys can pass anybody in the company as long as you license more than them through first. It's just a mathematical formula. So if licensing is the most important part of the business, then why don't we treat it like it? We're not intentional about licensing. Guys, you have to license people. That's the secret. You guys, who came here to listen to Secret today? That's the secret. Licensing people. You got to get your license, and you develop people that get your license, and you are relentless about it. License, and license, and license, and license, and you just keep going till your face turns blue, and you keep going, and it changes, right? Look, these are actual numbers right here, okay? This is Willie's numbers, okay? So Willie in 2007, he had 17 licensed agents and he was making $150,000 a year. Okay? In 2009, Willie had 60 licenses in his base shop. He was making $110,000. In 2013, he had 145 licenses, was making $300,000. Okay? In 2015, he had 446 licenses and his income was at $570,000. In 2017, he had 1,513 licenses, right, through first in his business. He made $1.3 million, right? In 2019, he had 2,683 licensed agents. His income for the year is 1.8 million. Right? In 2021, he had 4,233 licensed agents in his downline. His income for the year was 3.3 million. And that's all Lorena's really, right? But in 2023, he had 7,550 licensed agents. His income was over $5 million. I mean, today, they just went over 7.5 million for the year, the night before last night. You go look at his licensed agents, it mimics it, guys. You gotta follow the money. This is the formula to increasing your income. It's this, it's nothing else. You can do big premium, but if you don't have the license in place, guys, look, you increase your income with personal sales and base shop sales, and you solidify it and you concrete it with licensed agents. I tell everybody what we're doing, because the goal of Primerica is for all of us to get better. If the company gets better, we all get better. Even though I'm in Florida and you guys are in Virginia, well, now we're in Virginia. We got a Virginia team that's about to crank up, right? But and I'm excited about it. You guys get to see me more. But you know, guys, it's literally the whole business is just licensing, right? It's licensing, and don't worry about, you don't have to license 100 people direct. That's not how you do it. You just need to license a couple people direct, and you teach them to license under them. If you guys ask me, you're brand new right now, if I'm brand new, what do you teach me, Edward? License the people. Learn to license people that come into your organization. That's what you have to do to change your life, right? Gary, for those of you guys who are a little older, it's not about recruiting younger people. That's not how you're gonna get rich. You're gonna get rich if you recruit them and you guess what? You license them. No matter who you do, it's about licensing new agents, guys. It gives people value. They feel like they got something out of Primerica. And if you give it everything you got, you will be lucky to license 20%. But guess what? That's all you need to win here. R. Williams said, all you can do is all you can do. But all you can do is enough. Guys, look, this is Diana Macias, licensing to income. I'm telling you, I have stats for you guys. I have receipts. I'm telling you how we're doing it. How we're growing, right? I think last month in our hierarchy, we had like over 35 pass notices, maybe 40. You know, our base shop alone, we had like 16. This month we're a little down because the hurricane, all the test centers have been closed, but we still have 4 appointed. We have another 4 or 5 that's waiting to get appointed, right? By the way, if you have a hierarchy, don't worry about the hierarchy. All you gotta focus is your base shop. You got enough problems to handle. Your base shop. Your job as a leader of the hierarchy, if you're not, raise your hand if you're an RVP in here. Your job is to focus on your base shop. Your team's gonna follow. They're either gonna follow or they're not. You just keep going. You keep setting the example. You keep setting the pace. Right? I have 3 vice presidents. I can control what I do. And they work the same pace as me and they're good, but all you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough. Right, guys? Look, Diana Macias, 83 licenses, 48,000 in income. 147 licenses, 220 in income. 324,000, 345 licenses. 468 licenses, 400,000 in income. 573 licenses, 500,000 in income. 740 licenses, 800,000 in income. 1,000 to the T, appointed codes, she went over $1 million. Like even, 1,000 even. But wait, guess what? There's more. Let's talk about Jorge Pinal, how he did it. It's not even an accident at this point. It's a calculated risk with a formula attached to it. That's it. Like, that's the business. This is all you gotta do. You wanna hit $1 million? This is how you do it. Right? Look, Jorge Pinal, 2016, 22 licenses, 10,000 in income. 2017, 120 licenses, was a regional year, made 50,000 in income. 2018 was an RVP in Hawaii, 100 licenses, 80,000 in income. 2019, Punta Cana trip, right? 148 licenses, 130,000 in income. 2020, 252 licenses, 200,000 in income. For 2022, 434 licenses, 450,000 in income. 2023, 676 licenses, 600,000 in income. 2024, 880 codes, $1.1 million. This is the business, guys. Do you need 1,000 agents to make $1 million? No, but you do need a licensed agents to sustain $1 million. You can there's people who hit $1 million in our company with like 200 codes. Some of them with 50, right? Good luck, do it, just try to sustain it. Guys, when you don't have the codes in place, it's like bench pressing your max. Great, you can lift it. Can you do it again? Guess what? No. But what if you had another person help you? And then another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Then can you do it? Of course. Are you guys getting this stuff? Because I came here, I was like, man, my goal is not to come here and just motivate you, right? Thank you guys, right? My goal is not just to come motivate, it's so that you guys get better, you learn something. This is the full-timers, right? That's what I was told. You know, it threw me off because our structure is different in Florida. Friday night is the guest. You know, we have the locker room during the day, and then Saturday morning is full-timers, and then and then in the afternoon, you know, the other people will come. So that threw me off a little bit. So thankfully they told me, or I would have been talking to you guys like you're like brand new reps. Right? So guys, like the truth is, like licensing is the way to do it. That's how you're gonna get free. Right? You guys saying like, how do you do it? How does Primerica work? License people. You don't believe me. I promise on everything. If you guys add 100 new licensed agents in the next 12 to 16 months to your downline, whoever you are at the base shop level, I guarantee you, if you're regional, you will be a vice president. Now, you can be a vice president because I don't know what your guidelines is. You might do 30 by 30 and you could be a vice president, right? And you can focus on 30 by 30. Or you can focus on having 100 new life licenses in your downline. I guarantee you the promotion will be like done easy. Right? I read a book one time that Bill Whittle recommended. It says The One Thing. And the point of the book, you know, I'll do this exercise with you guys and you'll see what I'm saying. And hopefully this can impact some of you guys and it'll help you guys, right? All of you guys should have something to write down, okay? I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds to write down 10 things that you want to accomplish in your life. 10 things, right? So for example, one of them would be like buying a dream car. Another one would be like retiring my mom. The next one, right? I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds to do that. Just take 20 seconds and write down 10 things that you'd love to accomplish. Don't do them in detail. Just, it would be like new car, mom retired, $1 million in income, SNSD, like that, right? Whatever, health, happy, travel the world, save $10 million, right? I know for some people in the room, like Chris David, he's got like $1 billion saved, right? No, I'm kidding. But I mean, he's been in the business since 1985. That's so awesome. You guys get somebody to hear from somebody that's been around since Art Williams used to be around, right? If I were you guys, I'd be all over that guy, man. You know, seriously, that's a big deal, you know? You know what's another thing that sold me about Primerica? I saw my uplines, I asked them how long they've been here. They looked younger, they were fly, they just looked rich, they smell like money. Right? At my job, people have been here 25 years, they looked horrible. I was like, I like this outcome. You know, if you go look at Christian, you know, he's healthy, he's fit, like dude's happy. Isn't that enough to say about a career somewhere? I was in the delayed entry program for the military. If you see people been in the military 35 years, bro, you know what I mean? It's not good. You know, but you guys look at people in Primerica, been here 35 years, you look at them, they're healthy, they're happy, their personal life's in order. Right? So anyways, you guys should be done with that. By a show of hands, is anyone done with the list? With just the first 10? Couple? You are, buddy? Okay, cool. Do you mind sharing it? Or do you want me to pick somebody else? You share? Okay, what's the first thing on your list? Retire your mom. So you gotta retire your mom. What's the second thing on your list? Start a family. What's another thing on your list? New car? Okay, what's another thing on your list? And keep going. New house? Number one in state? Start a legacy. Those are the ones you were able to write down, right? Okay. What about you, buddy? What's yours?
Faithful wife.
Faithful wife. Faithful part is important. Okay. Kids. Okay. Mansion. Mansion on the other coast. $1 million income. Fit. Supercar.
Great relationship with God.
Great relationship with God. Super important. Kids in private school? Sorry, family. Anybody else? I'll just do one more. Anybody else want to share what theirs is? What's yours?
Home ownership.
Perfect. Home ownership, dream car.
I want to retire my dad.
Retire your dad.
Before he dies.
Awesome.
I want to retire my mom and my stepfather. I want to teach my sister how to retire herself. I want to travel the world. I want to start my catering business and maintain it successfully. I want to spoil all my nieces and nephews. And I want to start my family without having to worry about my money.
Okay. What about you, Rosa? What are yours? Did he do yours? What's number one on there? Buy a dream home. What else? Save $1 million by 30. SNSD. House, dream car. Buy your mom a house. Financially independent. Make over 50 to 100,000 a month. Travel to Greece. Anything else? That's it? Okay. Out of those things that you guys write down, you can accomplish 80% of them if you just accomplish 20% of them. For example, somewhere on the list you guys put to be a multi-millionaire, to be a millionaire, to be financially independent. Can you buy your dream house if you're financially independent? Yes. Can you travel the world if you're financially independent? Can you retire your mom if you're financially independent? Can you buy your dream car if you're financially independent? Can you have a better relationship with your loved ones if you're financially independent? What do you guys need to know? If you accomplish 20% of the goals that you have, you can take care of the other 80. The book, The One Thing, talks about find the one thing that you can accomplish that'll take care of everything else. Right? Like if you're a Navy SEAL, right? You had to do a find and search mission, right? We're in DC, so you guys probably like stuff like that. You can have a goal. One of the goals could be like take out the generator, right? Take out the armed guard, get in and get out without nobody noticing, register the hostage. Those are all the goals, right? What's the one goal that you can accomplish that'll take care of all the other ones? Register the hostage. I'm sorry, what is it? Rescue. I'm thinking about PFSU, right? Rescue the hostage. What am I saying? You guys have all these goals. All you have to do is focus on accomplishing the ones that take care of all the other ones. For me, financially independent would take care of a lot of those things. It was the same thing. Buy a dream car, have a better relationship, do this, retire my mom. If you get financially independent, you can take care of most of the things you want in life. You understand? Guys, you need to focus what's the one thing. See, in our business, guys, if you guys get 1,000 life license agents through First, you will accomplish pretty much all the goals you want for it. You want SNSD? Done. You want to be financially independent? Done. You want to save millions of dollars? If you license 1,000 licensed agents through First, and I know it's a big goal, but look, if you know, it's rare to be a millionaire, right? It's rare. It's gonna be hard, but you guys are in a business and there's a plan. Most people are in a business and they don't know what the plan is in order to do that, right? I mean, you might be a lawyer, you're like, well, I need to do X amount, but you don't really have a plan in place that you need to know how to do it. I just gave you guys the plan on how you can do that, right? And guys, look, if you guys want to get to the Ruby, this is what my mentor, Miguel Ellis, told me to hit the Ruby. And he told me, Edward, if you do these things that I'm gonna tell you, not only will you hit the Ruby, but you're gonna make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million. He says, and the key is, once you do the first one, you can't ever stop doing it. As long as you don't stop doing the first one, you're gonna hit all the other ones. It's a full-timers meeting, right? There's not a lot of new people in here? Okay. Base shop, 100 by 100,000 base shop. Samir's almost there. They're 50 by 50. That's nothing. You double your production. Anyone can do that. All right, any other base shops that were 50,000 in the room on a monthly basis? No? Okay, well, we got some work to do, that's okay. Right? So look, 100 by 100 base shop. License, double-digit license. Diana Macias told me that anybody that double-digit license at the base shop level for 5 years or more will hit the Ruby. That's what she told me, 5 years consecutively of double-digit licensing. Again, 100 by 100 base shop. 10 licenses a month, or 20% of the licenses. Miguel always tells me, bro, you don't have to license more than 20, right? You don't want to license under 20. 20 is fine. Some people say, I'm going to have a 50% license age. I mean, if you recruit 2 and you license 1, that's 50%. I'd rather recruit 50 people a month and license 10 than recruit 3 and license 1. Right? You guys got to license 20% of your recruits. And we're fighting for this. We're fighting to get 25%, right? What do you got to do? Every month, you got to be the example. You got to recruit 3 to 5 directs. You know, I used to tell people, you know, I used to hear a lot of speakers, and they'd be like, oh, it's easier to recruit when I was in UREP than I was I don't think it's true. I think it's easier for me to recruit now. You know, so if you guys are an RVP and you're making a 6-figure income, 200, 300, 400, 500, you should be on the field. That's going to motivate people when you tell them, I made $61,000 last month. Imagine if you were working like a rep at your income level now. You would double your income in 10% of the time. Imagine if you were a $200,000 earner, $300,000 earner, and you were working like a rep. It would just, it's over. If you work like a rep and it got you to 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, what would you do if you worked as a rep starting at 200 or 100? Or who's an RVP here? Okay, who better questions, because I know you guys make a ton of money here. So who wears the ring here? Some better question. Okay, so all you guys that wear the ring here, okay? Imagine if you work if you were a rep fighting for your ring, as a ring earner, fighting for your second and third and fourth diamond. You would do it in a ridiculous amount of time. Right? Like, I'm so serious. So this is a very deep question, right? So who here, you guys can take like tough coaching, right? Okay, I want a 300, I just want to pick 300. 300, any $300,000 earners in the room, third diamond? You guys. All right, cool. 300, hey, give it up for them. 300,000, yeah. That's a big deal. Ownership, right? $1 million net worth just on the business alone, which is super awesome. If you guys started the business now, brand new, with what you know now, how much longer do you think, how quick do you think you would get from IBA to 300,000? If with all the information you have now, how quick? Within 2 years you do it? Cool. Any six figure, I would take a 6-figure, 100,000, any $100,000 earners? Brother, if you started the business right now with the knowledge you have now, like if you just wiped out for some reason and you had to do it as fast as possible, but you have all the knowledge, you have all the skills, how fast would you get to 100,000? Within a year, right? You guys would do it. All of us would get back. So why don't we work like that now with what we have now? People tell me if I started the business all over again, right, I would get to 300,000. I would do it within 2 years. So why don't you work now? Like you're not at 300,000. So if you would get within 2 years to get from 0 to 300,000, what would happen if you worked the next 2 years? You wouldn't get to 300,000. You would be at what? Worst case scenario, 600,000. It's just mental trip. Sometimes there's an RVP walk around my office, and she was like, "You're doing so good, man. If I started the business again, I would get to 100,000 so quick." And I said, Natasha, why don't you pretend like you started the business again then? Apparently, it's better if you started again and forgot than if you kept going. Right? Like I'm telling you, right now, Gabby and I work like reps. And what happens is that gives me credibility because we're at our office. You know, people used to say, I'm telling you, the haters are everywhere, right? They'd be like, "Oh, you're only working like that because you're young." Well, I'm almost 30, but I'm still young, right? But still, it was I was 19, 20, like you're at the office all the time. They'd be like, "Okay, well, when you get married, you and fiance, you're not gonna show up at the same time." Guess what? Done that. We still show up at the same time. Oh, you'll leave earlier. We don't leave earlier. We still leave at 10, 11 o'clock. Right, next one. You couldn't have kids. People tell me I can't have kids because if you have kids, you're not gonna do this. I was like, I can't wait to have a kid. Guess what? I have a kid, still at the office, 10, 11 o'clock at night. On Close of Business, we are bringing the car seat because I pick them up. My mom went through chemotherapy. Her health is pretty good, but it's, she needs rest, right? She needs rest. So we go and pick, and mom's like, "You're taking him home?" I was like, "Yeah, mom, I'm taking him home. That's no problem." Here goes the baby in the G-Wagon to the office. What? That's the best environment for my son, right? He's 7 or 8, bro. With the life you're growing up, you think it's normal to be driving a GTR at 7 months old? That's not normal. You think it's normal being in the back of a G-Wagon? That's not normal. Go wait till you talk to other kids. And my mom's saying here, right? He needs to understand, like, man, like this is what we go through. That's the environment for my son. Right? Like, man, what are you going to do when you're home? Most people are like, "Oh, I just don't have quality time." You get home, first thing you do is jump on Facebook. Your kids are running around, your quality time, and you're scrolling on social media. Stop playing, man. It's the truth. I'm a dad now. I know how it is. Sometimes it happens to all of us. And I'm intentional about it. What about people that don't self-improve and don't take new information and aren't constantly working on getting better? It happens to everybody. Right? So again, do 10 to 20,000 personal. Look, they were asking me introduction. I was like, no, I don't need an intro. I don't want an introduction. If I'm a guy, if I need a big introduction for you guys to know who I am, I'm not doing the business right. You want to fight to be a one-name type of guy. I don't need people to say, "Oh, who's coming? Edouard." If they say Edouard what, I'm doing it wrong. You want to be a one-name type of guy. You with me? When people say, oh man, what are you, Javier what? That's the problem. Right? People, who's coming to do my fast start school? Shaq, you don't gotta say Islam. You know there's only one Shaq. I'm sure there's a lot of them, but there's one. People say, oh, I'm having a fast start school. Right? Who's the guest speaker? Oh, Christian. You don't gotta say David. There's only one Christian that they're going to fly out to speak 2,000 miles away, spend 5,000 on his room, stay, eating, all that stuff. There's only one of them. Right? When people in the company right now, you say Mario. Do you have to say Arizon? No, man. You got a fast start school. Who's the speaker? Miguel. You really got to say Illich? No. You with me? You guys want to fight to be a one-name type of person. This is a Fortune 1000 company, which means there's less than 1,000 public companies in the United States that are bigger than us. That's a big deal, guys. It's a very, very big deal. There's less than 999 companies in the whole country right now that's publicly traded that's bigger than us. That's a very big deal. Okay? Very, very, very big deal. So when you are part of a company like this, and you can be a one, you're doing something right. Fight to be, you know, people that are known by their first names, they're not people that do 10 by 10, guys. They're not people that do 20 by 20. First name type of people, they do big numbers. They do big production, big numbers. They have great leadership, right? If I say Diana, who are y'all thinking about? See, it's easy. If I say Willie, who are you thinking about? I feel bad. Anybody named Willie in this company? That's a hard one to, right? Like, you know, sometimes there's other names that you're like, well, you know, it's okay. Your name's Willie, brother. You better out changing. Better call yourself Wilberto, William, you know, like something like that. That's a hard one. It's like being in the league and being named LeBron. Like, brother, you're not, you know what I mean? Or Michael, stop it. Like, better go by your middle name. You know what I mean? People gonna buy your drinks and thinking they're buying another person, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Those guys are great, okay? So again, we do 10 to 20,000 through field training. Why? What would your, so, you know, sometimes I talk to some leaders and be like, well, you're not a person produce because it won't add anything to your income. Really? Oh, you have 300,000 and you feel like if you have 20,000 personal, it doesn't change your income. Really? Because last time I checked, 20,000 personal jumps you 2 diamonds. So if you have 300, now you have 500. If you have 500, you have 700. If you have 800, you have $1 million. Personal production does matter. What if you turn it up and do 30 or 40,000? As we're going to this Ruby, I know there's going to be months we're going to do 40, 50,000 personal. Because if it's got to be, it's up to me, right or wrong. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to give it everything I got. Everything I got. Right, guys? So, again, you want to do personal production because this is what gives you credibility. Okay? What else? 1,000 licensed agents through First. Guys, these are amazing goals to have. If you have these goals, this is your game plan to $1 million income. Our business is just numbers. Say just numbers. Right? You don't got to be super smart. You don't got to be super intelligent. You don't have to have experience taking company publicly traded. You don't. All you got to do is numbers. Say just numbers. Anyone here could do just numbers. There's somebody that came from where you came from that had the same trials and tribulations I went through and that won here. Why can't you? Right? Look, and very important, good QBI. You can't just do a bunch of production, right? You can't just do a bunch of production and have bad QBI. If you go do, you know, we do 100,000, why the hell am I do, you know why we do 91,000, 98,000? Because we send back 15, 20 grand a month. You understand? Because I want this thing to last. It's not about hitting a ruby, right? It's not about that. That's part of what we're gonna do, but that's not why we're here. We came here to leave a legacy. We came here to do something big. We came here to treat the team the way that we want to be treated. We came here to develop a business, right, the right way. We don't want to do things wrong. You know, what is the point of submitting business and then again sending back, the client not paying? You got to have back-end process. You got to have, QBI days. You got to have an office manager or yourself manage your own business. Why would you write 10 policies for 9 to go bad? I don't get that. For the scoreboard, did we come here to get rich or did we come here to get recognition? See, because if you get rich, you're naturally going to get recognition. But you could get there's a lot of people that make a lot of recognition, but guess what? Don't make no money. See guys, there's a difference of cash and cash flow. When you make cash is when you close a transaction, you get paid what? Cash. Say cash. Okay, when you develop a system of licensed agents that continue to produce and duplicate, you generate cash flow. Big difference. Christian David has cash flow. Shaq has cash flow. Samir has cash flow. That's cash flow. Whether I work or not, I'm going to have a certain amount of income that comes in. What is financial independence? Financial independence, the definition is when your reoccurring income passes, right, or overcomes your reoccurring expenses. That's total financial independence. You know how you do that? With licensed agents. You don't do it with securities. Unless you have a managed accounts license and you have almost 200 million in management. If you do that, God bless you. But here's what I always tell people, dude. You could do both. You know, I educate people, you know, when you're taking the Florida license exam, they explain, okay, explain the Department of Insurance, pay the Department of Financial Services, right, and the Department of Banking. What do I tell people? Dude, what is insurance? What is insurance? Just insurance. What is banking? It's just banks, it's just investments. What about what is financial services? Insurance and what? And investment. Dude, you want to be in the financial services business. Right? Well, you want to be in the distribution of financial services, but you get it. It's a full-time meeting, right? What does that mean? Does that mean I only do investments? Does that mean I only do life insurance? No, it means I do all the products. Right? Like sometimes I talk to some guys and they know, like, oh man, like, Edward, I'm going to tell them, like, oh, I did $1 million last month, but that's so bad. And I'm like, that's not bad. That's good. We are in the financial services business. That's okay, man. If you're doing investments, that's good. Like, I'm proud of you for doing investments. You don't got to let that go to turn up your base shop. All you got to do is just add life insurance licensed agents. You be doing $1 million a month. Dude, you want to start doing 100,000? Get 300 licenses in your base shop. You do 100,000. So it's not like, what? You don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to do one or the other. You can do one and what, guys? And the other. You with me? I'm super serious, guys. I'm telling you, it's bad attitude to be like, oh, I do this. Don't label yourself. Don't label yourself a securities producer. Don't label yourself just a life insurance. You're a financial services type of guy, right? If somebody in the household, somebody's got 100,000, do the rollover. I don't come here like, oh, this guy's a builder. He's coming to make me feel bad about investments. That's not true at all. Like if you have a $100,000 rollover, do it, dude. But guess what? Don't give up on the month after you get that check for $3,000. Go and recruit some people. Right? What if you wrote 20,000 personal, you did 500,000 in the VA, you opened up 20 packs, and you recruited 120 people, and you issued 23 life licenses for the month? What would that business look like? Oh my God. But you know what happens? Most people, they do it, and they give up on the month. Look, if you're a securities producer, you're always going to be attached to your pen. You're always going to have to do customer service. That's the truth, right? I'm not hating or anything. I'm just saying that's the truth. We're working on the biggest rollover in the history of the company. For real. Not a rollover, biggest investment. Lump sum. I got one of my guys working on the biggest investment Primerica's ever done. Even Steve Siebold, where I don't know the guy from the investment, met him with the guy. Got a guy that's potentially might do $100 million investment. Met with the number one guy in Primerica. If it goes through, you guys will know because you'll see it on POL. You're like, how did he just get a ruby ring? If my Harvey P does it, he's going to get his $3 million ring in one trade. It's going to be crazy. But those are, if and buts were candy to nuts, then we'd all have a Merry Christmas, right? So what do I say? Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know what starts happening when people start working on a big investment? They give up on the rest of the business. Why? Whatever you're doing, you keep going. It's not one or the other. It's one and what, guys? And the other. You with me? So guys, right? And very important, self-improve. You gotta self-improve. Look, this was my car when I started Primerica. This thing right here, dude. That was it, right? Look, that's my car now, right? I get to field train a GTR. If you're in childhood, who grew up watching Too Fast, Too Furious? All of you that raised your hand, I guarantee you your favorite car is a GTR, right or wrong? Paul Walker did that to you, right or wrong? That was it, right? Man, that was my dream car. When I grew up, I didn't grow up saying, I want Lambos and Ferraris. I grew up saying, I want a GTR. Primerica gave that true. It was a reality. And guys, look, we're all in the same company. We have the same compensation. We have the same presentation. We have the same structure. Why do some people make millions and some people struggle to make 1,000? We are the problem. But the beautiful thing is, if we are the problem, then guess what? We're also the solution. Right? And I just have a minute left, so I have a couple things, right? Guys, look. You know, success is predictable. Success is predictable, guys. Okay? Look, build your leadership from the inside out, not from the outside in. Some people, what they do is they think that if they raise their numbers, they grow their leadership. If numbers was the key to having a big business, then companies wouldn't hire CEOs. They would just employ their top salesperson. It's not just numbers. You got to develop your character and your leadership. Leadership is one of the most, it's not one, it's the most fundamentally important part here about running a business, leadership. And it's not talked about enough. Right? What else, guys? Again, you got to dress the part. When you show up to, I mean, you guys are all doing a great job, right? You don't have to be super rich. You don't have to have, right? Like, this guy right here looks like he makes like $2 million a year. This guy's fly right here. Yeah, you, bro, you fly. Yeah, he's fly guy, right? We don't all, right? Stand up real quick. Look at this guy's swag, man. Look, this guy, man. This guy looks like money right here, right? I know, but he's doing the part, right? See, that guy looks like he's like money. So do you think people will give him some money? Absolutely. Some people say, man, you could close on anything. Yeah, you could, but your team can't. They barely have the confidence to ask for a social, banking, writing an account number. You think if they're wearing a t-shirt, it's going to make it easier? At least look the part. Do you go ask your attorney how to raise your child? No, because the word attorney implies that you're going to ask them a legal question. Are you going to go talk to a financial guy that's not dressed to the T? Because the word financial advisor, or financial agent, or financial representative implies that they make what? Money. Right or wrong? Look, guys, if the meeting starts at 9:30, if you want to be big, you got to show up at 9. And if you want to take it to a totally next level, you show up at 8:30. You make sure the room is picked up, right? You make sure all the chairs are aligned. You make sure the air conditioner is ready to go, right? You make sure that the PowerPoints are good. Like, that's leadership. That's how you build a company, guys. You don't show up. You don't build a company getting there at 9:30 because you're mooching on your uplines, right? Like, a lot of times people are like, man, if you behaved like the RVP and the SNSD, what would you accomplish? You know what you would accomplish? RVP or SNSD. Right? What else? Being coachable, being respectful. Dude, like, I love my uplines. I'm so respectful to my uplines. If it wasn't for my uplines, I wouldn't be recruiting Primera. Nobody else ever tried to prosper me. I gotta be grateful. Right? Your uplines is like your parents. You can ever pay them back. You can't. Because there's no way you could pay somebody back for existing. You just can't. You gotta love and respect your uplines, dude. Sometimes you're like, man, this drives me crazy. People are like, oh, I wish I was in this base shop, this shop. Why don't you make your base shop a winning team? Who here knows basketball? A couple of you guys, okay. As a basketball fan, are you very passionate about the legacy of Kevin Durant? You are? Who's a real basketball fan here? You passionate about Kevin Durant? You not? Well, he did, right? But why are you not passionate about it? Because what did he do to get a ring? He switched teams. So that tarnishes. I mean, Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant. Like, if I met Kevin Durant, that dude's the man. You with me? But you can't say, like, that guy, you know, his legacy was tarnished because he had to go somewhere else to get a ring. If you got to go to another base shop to get a ring, you hurt your legacy. Hurt some people in here, right? There's a lot of legacy in you accomplishing, right? My man knows he's a real basketball. Some of you say, I'm a basketball fan. Yeah, get out of here, man. I don't know basketball. And that goes in any sport. People want to see the struggle, right? People want to see that struggle turn into success, right? Guys, I'm telling you, man, like, you guys got to stick with it. The chargebacks will turn into an incredible lifestyle, believe it or not. And you know, the chargebacks don't go away. You just get better and you make more. I have chargebacks too. I don't know. I don't know how much chargeback. I was telling the guys, Miguel Illich taught me not to look at my chargeback balance. One day I was talking to him. I was a rep. I was like, bro, you know, in the morning I check chargeback. I said, bro, why are you doing that? He said, I never check chargebacks. Don't ever do that. I said, really? He said, yeah, don't look at it. You know, whatever you focus on grows. That's why you keep getting so many. So you need to get an office manager, let them focus on that. All you need to do is work on field training, recruiting, developing, and licensing people. And I have a dinner at 10, but I believe that the information that I'm giving you is more important than that dinner that we're gonna have, right? Because that dinner might cost, not obviously I'm gonna go eat with them, right? But there's specific restaurants, so I'm just letting you guys know, I'm sacrificing time, I'm a multi-millionaire to pour into you guys, okay? Just because he was very adamant, I'm sorry, Chris said, we gotta leave here at 9:30. I'm like, but I feel like you guys are getting better, yes? Yes. Right? So, thank you guys. So you guys, we're still going to dinner, right? We're just going somewhere else. Right, Christian? Right? Yeah. Okay. So what do you guys have to do? So Miguel told me, you know, the reason that you don't, he said to get an office manager, and my answer was at the time I was like, I can't get an office manager because I'm not making the money for an office manager. You know what he told me? He said, you don't have money to make an office, to employ an office manager because you don't have an office manager. But if you had an office manager, you'd have money to employ them. And I was like, right, my coach always takes my mindset to the next level, right? I'm like, damn. All right, guess what? I got an office manager. My income went the same year from $30,000 a year went to $240,000. I was 24 years old. You guys know, people ask me, how do you have these great relationships? Because I listen and I apply what they tell me. If you go ask Coach Christian, you know, how do they remember your name? How do you build relationships? Because I went to ask him when I was a rep, hey, how do I do this? Okay, do it. Next event, hey, what's up, coach? By the way, I got to distributor now. Oh, that's awesome. Said, hey, what can I do to go to division? You got to do this, and that. Next event, come. Hey, coach, I'm a division. Wow, that's awesome, right? Hey, coach, what I got to do to go to regional? You go and tells you this. Next show, you say, hey, coach, not only am I a regional, I'm actually a senior regional, and I have 2 regionals on my team. That's incredible. Right? Come do a call for me, come my team. And then every time you see me, hey, where are you at now? Hey, I recruited, you know, remember last time we talked, we were at 35,000, now I'm rolling 12s at 98,000, might go my ring. Wow. Right? You mentor, you know when I stop mentoring people? When they stop having results. Because I know that actions that I'm teaching you to do is going to generate the results. If you're not getting results, I know you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. I know, right? Like, dude, if you're doing 0 in premium, I know you're not doing what I'm teaching you to do. If you're doing 3,000 in premium, you're not. If you're doing under 3 by 3,000 per, you're definitely not doing what I'm. And if I have somebody that's a veteran, 5 years or more, and I look at their business and they're doing less than 10,000 personal, less than 20 by 20 in the base shop, I have to stop mentoring you, bro. Why? Because I know your skill level. You could do 20 by 20 personal. Right? And if you're not doing that, I know for a fact you're just not doing the things that I ask you. You don't want to be an ask-hole. An ask-hole is somebody that asks questions and doesn't apply. That is the worst. People will stop avoiding you in Primerica if you do that. You're an asshole. Always asking, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I this? How do I do that? What book should I read? Book an appointment, right? Like, always, I'm seriously, guys, you don't want to be the type of person that's always asking and not applying. Look, if information was the key to being successful, then a college parking lot would look like an exotic car dealership, right along. So it's not information, it's application. So the things that you guys learn here, okay, I'm fired up. Okay, go and do some of it, right? Edward said I got to license 20% of people. I got to do everything in my power. You know, earlier today I did a training on how to get your license up. Go talk to the people that were there so you can learn the how-tos, right? You got to apply some of this stuff, guys. If you leave this meeting right here today and you don't do what you're supposed to do, man, you wasted this weekend. See, guys, look, I don't spend time with anybody. I invest. Because if I spend time, then that means I have less. If I spend money, that means I have less. I invest into things. I invest time with people. I invest my money, right? Because I want more out of it. If you guys come here and you don't do anything with this meeting, you spent time here. You didn't invest it. I'm telling you guys, if I can come here, if I don't know English, if I come from a family that's not well off, if my parents don't come from money, if we have no previous experience and we can do it, you can do it too. I'm serious. And I know right now you guys are looking at me, you're like, this guy's good, he can talk in front of people, he looks sharp, he's the best looking guy I've seen, right? But look, let me tell you something. I didn't start like this. Right? I was kidding about not knowing English when I started. Just kidding. Right? No, seriously, but I'm serious. I'm super serious. Like, guys, when you go look at these speakers, that's not how they were when they started. Right? You're watching the final product, or you're watching a product that's definitely not, maybe not the final product, but you're watching like not the beginning one. Right? So guys, look, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they don't have the team, and they have one or two guys, and they don't coach them, they don't fire them up, and they don't pour time into it because they said, I don't have the right team, I don't have it yet. You gotta start talking like that now. You gotta start talking about, yeah, listen, bro, we're gonna do 100 by 100, 100 by 100, 100 by 100, 100 by 100, and you keep saying it, 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 and then eventually it happens. You gotta stick with it. You gotta keep going and keep going. Say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make $200, $200,000, $200,000, $200,000, $200,000. You put it on the car, you put it on the wall, you put it in the shower, you put it on your phone, you put it everywhere, and it's like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and chargeback's coming. You still say, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And maybe your partner says, you're not gonna do it. You always say you're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Before you do it, boom, it happens, dude. And you do the same thing with 300,000. I'm gonna get to 300, 300. And if you really want to be a boss, you learn what we apply here. You no longer track your income, and you track the amount of licenses. This home office says if you add 30 new codes at the base shop level as an RVP, you'll grow your income by $100,000. That's what Glenn Williams says, the CEO of the company. So if you want to grow your income 300,000, how many licenses do you need to add in your base shop, RVPs? 90. 100,000 is 30, right? For some of us not good at math, right? So how much is 200,000? 60. How much is 300,000? 90. Because we're on the field. You with me? Guys, I'm seriously, man, like this company is incredible. You could do something here. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys today is about synergy. Right? So synergy is a where I learned it was in a book that was about medical terminology. It says synergy. Synergy is that 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, that 1 + 1 might equal 500. So my mom had cancer, my father's going through cancer, right? While I was there, my mom texted me, he went to the oncologist day. Yesterday, I was supposed to be there, but I had committed to be here, so I couldn't. They said, hey, we're gonna change treatment. So I'm doing a lot of medical research for the last couple of years, right? So this book studied a bunch of people that were on cancer, and they noticed, the study was to see what vitamins, what immune therapy can do to cancer patients, right? So I'm really passionate about that, right? I talk about that all the time. You guys know the United States has only made a 1% increase in treating cancers from 1985 till today? It's crazy, right? You guys know 46% of people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime? Crazy, right? Insane, right? It's north of a $200 billion a year industry. It's insane. Like and that's what they say. I think it might be more than that, to be honest with you. Right? But basically what this thing said, it followed around cancer patients for years, for a period of over 10 years. And the book realized that vitamin A alone did not do anything. Neither did vitamin C, right? Or vitamin B. But if you put vitamin B12 and vitamin C together, it actually would help reduce cancer significantly because it strengthened the immune system. But if you added B12 by itself, it wouldn't do anything. If you added vitamin C by itself, it wouldn't do anything. But when you added them in combination, you increase the odds of beating cancer by 44% for this specific type of cancer, right? Because it's the synergy. What I took from that, next day I did a training for my team. Till this day, my team always says synergy. You guys wondering why the base shop, why did the business blow up for you? Because you're only doing one thing or you're doing another, but you're not doing them together. If you start field training, doing 10 to 20,000 personal, right? If you start licensing 20% of your recruits, you start being coachable, you self-improve, and you start double-digit recruiting, and you do those things in combination, you will build a business, guys. But by themselves, it's not gonna happen. You might even start licensing 3-4 people a month, and recruiting 0, 1 or 2 people. It's not gonna happen for you. You might be doing 10, 15,000 personal to field training, $1 million securities business. You'll be here 10 years, you might make 200,000, 300,000. You're not gonna change no lives. You might be recruiting 5. My pet peeve is people that recruit and don't do business. I hate that. Right? Like if you recruit, bro, you gotta field train, bro. Right? You recruiting, but you don't do it. Guys, when you recruit, when you field train, when you license, when you self-develop, those things together, that's what changes your life. You with me? So guys, in closing, I leave you guys with this. There was a dog and an elephant, right? There's a female animals, right? So they both get pregnant. The elephant tells the dog, hey, I'm pregnant. The dog says, you know, it's crazy you mention that because I'm also pregnant too. He says, no way, we're going to have kids together. I say, yeah. Best friends, they're talking, right? So 3 months later, the puppy dog comes, and it has 3 to 4 puppies with him. He says, hey, look, I'm pregnant, I have my thing. How does your kids? He says, well, I'm pregnant, but I'm not ready yet. He says, really? Okay, well, all right, you say you're pregnant, right? A couple days later, the dog comes and says, hey, guess what? Right? I'm pregnant again. The elephant, how could you be pregnant again? He says, yeah, I'm pregnant again, I'm having babies, right? 3 months later, the dog comes again. Now she has 6 puppies. He says, oh, man. And the dog tells him, are you sure you're pregnant? The elephant says, yeah, of course I'm pregnant. I just, you know, it's just taking some time. Okay, no worries, right? 3 months later, dog comes back again, right? Now we're almost a year into it, says, I just had more babies and you still even haven't had one. Are you sure you're pregnant? And the elephant, even though she knew she was pregnant, she started doubting herself. Says, am I really pregnant? A year and a half later, the dog returns with more puppies. And he says, dude, it's been a year and a half. You are not pregnant. I don't know what doctor you're going to. Believe me, you're not pregnant. And the dog at this point has a crowd of puppies. A couple months later, the dog returns. But this time, there's 2 massive elephants. And the dog is in shock, says, oh my God, right? You were pregnant. He says, of course I was pregnant. See, what happens is that me and you were creating 2 different things. When my son hit the ground, the world paid attention. When he passes by, people will be scared, and they would take out their phones and record. When my son yelled through his trumpet, it would echo for miles. See, what you don't understand is that what I was giving birth to was something so much larger than yours. What you guys have to know, what you guys are building here is something so much greater than what most people are building. So when they come here and they tell you, hey, I'm pregnant, don't doubt yourself. All right, guys? Love you guys.